Namaste, Jai Hind. Welcome to MMK The Eagle View. Today we are going to see a very important update on the elections of Pakistan, which is scheduled to be conducted on 8th of Feb in this year. So when we speak about Pakistan and the never-ending elections, there are a few basic facts which we need to understand. Most of us know Pakistan. It's a perfect example of a perfect case study of how a banana republic works. So it works on AAA, the America, the Army and the Allah. So this three becomes a prime factor of this nation called Pakistan. Now we have not seen a single elected government completing its 5 full years of term in the history of Pakistan, and the military rulers during the 90s, Musharraf even during the 70s and 80s, they were ruling the Pakistan directly under the military rule, and on and off they used to conduct elections. The people perceive that America will give us money, America is supposed to give us money, the dollars comes from there, and for every problem you put it on the God, and the third thing you can do is that savior, the messiah of Pakistan, who is the army. Now we are at a very important juncture of 2024, where Pakistan is going to see one more election, which is kind of, you can say, a partially managed election, because this country is so unique that the election booth security is provided by the military directly and its paramilitary forces. Most of the countries use paramilitary forces, but unless or until it's so serious, you don't use your military for your polling purposes. This country does it every time. Now look at who are all the three major players in this election. The first is PTA, Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, led by Imran Khan, who is currently under jail now. Under various cases, he has been convicted also. Second party is PML, Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz, PMLN, and then we have the PPP, Pakistan People's Party, led by the Sharif family, by the Bhutto family. So there are two family-owned parties, and then there is one messiah, the cult Imran Khan, who promised moons to Pakistan, who promised Naya Pakistan to its people. So these are the three major political parties involved, and apart from that, there are a lot of fringe, extreme, fundamental parties, which is kind of, there are 26 ex-terrorists, they are retired terrorists who have filed their nomination to contest in the election. So we will see a very, very interesting update. The mullahs, the extremists who were then terrorists, couple of them were very, very active members of Lashkar-e-Taiba, have filed their nominations to contest this election. So it's a very, very complex cocktail of how a country should not work. Now let's see a very brief history. I'm not taking you back to what it was since 1947. Let us understand what happened in 2016. 2016, Nawaz was supposed to be seen as a very stable prime minister who could steer Pakistan. He himself is a businessman. He thinks and works like a businessman. He went to China. He had a lot of projects coming in, especially the Belt and Road initiatives. A lot of projects under CPEC came in. So he was seen to be a prime minister, popular prime minister, who would complete that 5-year term in the history of Pakistan. But the army had other plans. First was the WikiLeaks, where a lot of Pakistani elites were named, their names were exposed. And then we had the Dawn, the leading news daily of Pakistan, exposing the corruption, exposing leaders from various political parties, especially Nawaz Sharif. And then we had the very famous WikiLeaks. So all these three, the Panama leaks, all these three things put together kind of angered the common public of Pakistan. And the non-state custodians of Pakistan, like non-elected custodians of Pakistan, which is principally the army and the judiciary, they also felt scared, or they felt threatened about their own position. So immediately, this triggered the downfall of the Nawaz Sharif government. Primarily for three major reasons. Absolutely there is no job, because unless or until you correct your fundamentals, you keep reworking on the same routine of scheme of things, you are not going to change anything. Precisely that's what happened. There was no jobs. The youth got angry. There's a lot amount of frustration. Then the typical corruption issue comes where you see both the major political parties, the family-led parties. One is Sharif and one is Bhutto's family. They all are corrupt, and then the noise starts and the anger builds up. So there was no Anna Hazare movement per se, but it was the anger was genuine. The anger was fueling up. But who is the third alternative? Then the army played a very good wild card. They chose a very nice puppet called Imran Khan, who has been in politics for quite some time. Apart from Pashtuni areas, he couldn't do much in the Punjabi area as such. So they chose Imran Khan, who was the famous cricketer who won World Cup for Pakistan. Pakistan breathes and eats and sleeps cricket. So that nerve was picked up. So he was identified. He was projected as a leader. He was projected as a political leader who is a credible alternative for these two corrupt family parties, and he promised action against corruption. He was pro Pashtuni. He was selling the dream of Naya Pakistan, and then he was seen as an anti-elite simple leader who comes from a very, very humble background. So all this cocktail of things were there. Now you could kind of recollect with one of the politicians in Delhi, but that's a different story. He also, the way he started was, it was supposed to be a party meant for Aam Aadmi. We know what happened later, and the same amount of corruption cases they got into now. Similarly, he sold a dream, so he could gather as much as seats, but he couldn't get an absolute majority, which Pakistani army deliberately did. So I have few of my Pakistani friends who, once jokingly said there were candidates who were kidnapped by the Pakistani army, Pakistani rangers. There were booths which were captured on the last hour of voting between 5 p.m. and 6 p.m. The army guys were voting themselves for Imran Khan, but not to a level of giving an absolute majority. So a coalition government formed, and then the Naya Pakistan, dream seller Imran Khan came to power. All went well. He was very much under the good books of army. He was even for the blue-eyed boy of the army chief Bajwa then. But slowly Imran Khan, by his fan base of followers, especially the youth, he had a sizable presence, a very cult presence in social media. He was one of the most impactful, a powerful leader as far as the social media is concerned, be it Twitter or Facebook. So that got developed. A lot of youth came in. The middle class, the middle rung officers, the cantonment kids, they all started supporting Imran Khan because a sizable amount of Pakistani NRIs were sitting in UK and elsewhere. They also started supporting Imran Khan. So Imran Khan grew by his own cult, and then he rolled out a lot of things, which was kind of, I would say, a death nail in the already dying coffin, in the status of Pakistan. So unlimited subsidies, never-ending subsidies, mindless freebies, and the best part is the corruption. The man who committed himself to be clean, who is a credible alternative of two corrupt families, he himself became corrupt, and his dream wife, I think the third or the fourth, I don't remember it exactly, Buzra Bibi, she also got into a lot of corruption. Those expensive gifts were generally given to the head of state, was siphoned off, was taken home, all those kind of corruption charges. And then came the sexual videos and sexual tapes, sex scams, videos, audios and whatnot. It was complete cocktail. And then he went against the Pakistani chief Bajwa. He refused to sign the appointment of ISI chief. He wanted somebody else. We spoke that in detail in our channel earlier. So all this thing led to a complete breakdown of economy, but his cult remained intact. When the Russia-Ukraine war started, he landed up in Moscow and then said this is something new beginning. And when Taliban took over Afghanistan, he said Taliban broke the slavery shackles of the slavery. So he projected himself as an anti-American. So in the AAA, he chose to go against two of it. Which is one is army and second is the America. So when you go against three of what the pillars which hold Pakistan, you are bound to fail. So that's what happened. So he was taken off. There was a no confidence motion moved. A lot of his allies, smaller allies, were threatened, and they were told to vote against them. and then there was a coalition government of PMLN and PPP. It was formed the first ever time. The Sharif family and the Bhutto family got together, and with a couple of other small parties, they formed an interim government which ran the show for the past 15 months or so. So in this, you've seen what India couldn't do to Pakistan in the past maybe 75 years. Imran Khan single-handedly had done it for us. Be it handling their economy, be it governance, or be it handling their own military. With due credits to him to be given, is that he single-handedly destroyed the messiah image of its army. The army's image was shattered. He was possibly the first prime minister who took on their army head on. He said the army is corrupt, we are paying more salaries, their lifestyle of the army top generals, and he literally went behind them, and then this is what got him the support of the cantonment kids, especially the kids of the middle ranked army officers, especially the people who are at lieutenant captain, major and lieutenant colonel and full colonel level. So he has sizable amount of following, and then he decided to go alone. He was thrown out. He went to the Supreme Court, he couldn't stand, the case failed, and when the new government came in, the list of corruption cases, espionage, treason, possibly every possible thing. So the cocktail was very clear that either Imran Khan will be killed in jail, or he will be hanged like Bhutto, or he may go on exile like Parvez Musharraf or Nawaz Sharif. Something was there on the offing, but he was jailed. As of now, he is in jail, and there are a couple of instances where they complained, PTA complained that he has been given a small room in the jail, he has been beaten up, and there are CCTVs fixed in his washroom. Even if he goes to the toilet, it's covered in a CCTV camera. I don't know what country is this all about, but these are the legitimate news which came up in the media at those point of time. Finally, Imran Khan's party, all his trusted lieutenants, Fawad Chowdhury, all these guys, they quit the party, they moved, they shifted sides, or they were jailed, they were beaten up. Pakistan's foreign minister was beaten up by a local Thanedar there, by a Havildar there. So possibly, I would say, it's nothing less than a masala movie which this Bollywood guys take. It was a perfect cocktail of anger, treason, treachery, backstabbing, emotions, pyar, mohammed, possibly every possible thing. So now at this juncture, when Imran projected himself as a victim, he was victim of taking on two A's, which is America and the army. So he blamed both of them, and then came one day called 9th of May, where PTA organized a massive rally against the arrest of Imran Khan. They went on a rampage, cantonments were broken. People went inside the Corps Commander's house, people went inside Pakistani military establishment, defense establishment. It was all over the news. It was like a kind of civil war kind of a situation. Later the crackdown happened. Imran Khan himself mellowed down, and then he said, no, we are not against the army. I don't want to have violence. Pakistani army started calling it as a black day of Pakistani history. Now very soon it will be put in textbooks. That look, one of your political party which went against army and went against the defense forces who do a lot of sacrifices for you. Now this is like teaching your future kids or indoctrinating your future kids. There was something called May 9, which is seen as a black day of the Pakistani's history. Now his social media followers who were like crazy with him, they also backed out. The fervor of PTA started coming down. A lot of people feared arrest, a lot of people were arrested, and the best part is the Pakistani military establishment took on this major protesters, major troublemongers of May 9th incident, and then they tried them in the military law, martial law. This is the biggest joke, where a civilian is being tried under a military act, under a military rule. So there is a court, judiciary, High Court and the Supreme Court which is functional, and there is a parallel court which is run by their Pakistani army, which has started trying civilians in their, under martial law. Then woke up the judiciary, because judiciary is equally corrupt. Judiciary goes hand in glove. Most of the Pakistani politicians' relatives become judges. They become chief justice. So these guys took we have the power, only power of us is the judiciary. Now that is also been taken away by the army. So they went and gave a ruling that civilians cannot be trialed under military law. This guy said, no, no, they have entered the cantonment, they were inside our place, they ransacked our properties. So we will trial them under the military law. Now, what is left on February 8th? So they did a delimitation exercise. As per their constitution, elections has to be conducted within 90 days of the removal of the previous government, or over tenure of the previous government. But the delay was due to delimitation exercise, where they kind of merged Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, few districts of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Balochistan into Pakistan. They did something which will make somebody win. So the Nawaz Sharif came back from his exile. He is perfectly healthy now. When they were buying bread at around 400 rupee per pack of bread, or a dozen of egg was costing around 500 odd bucks. So he was, given a rousing welcome in Karachi, where flower petals were thrown on him from using a chopper. So he came back, and he now is being projected as a PM of Pakistan, all likely. The other alternative with him is a Pakistani clown. It's called Bilawal Bhutto. He wants to be the goody boy of Pakistani army. He says that I will run the show, make me a prime minister. The third one, the people's choice would always be Imran Khan. We call it good or bad, people's verdict is final. But Imran Khan will not be able to contest. So Imran Khan has been retired. He has been locked inside his toilet. So now PTA will contest with some other leader. We don't know who it is. Maybe a proxy of ISI or a Pakistani army. Now they will conduct an election which is supposed to be fair and fair and straight. But eventually they will have to go for Nawaz Sharif, but not giving him the full majority. So it will again going to be a cocktail of a military controlled government. How long will Nawaz listen to the Pakistani military establishment? Will Nawaz get a full majority? The answer is no. Will Imran Khan come back? That will be a death nail for Pakistani army. They will never let that happen. So they will add on further cases on Imran Khan, and his wife is also, I think she is in jail now. So Imran Khan is playing the victim mode. PPP, the Bhutto's family party, wants an opportunity. Bilawal Bhutto is an UK educated guy. We will listen to whatever you tell. Please let us run the government. And then we have the same old Nawaz Sharif, who's the most popular leader of Pakistan outside Pakistan. So this combination of three, and a few ex-terrorists and extremists who have been filing nominations, so they will also get some few seats. Now look at the choice of the world's most, supposed to be the powerful Islamic nation called Pakistan. Two family-led parties, both of them are corrupt to the highest order. One which has got a clown as its president, which is Bilawal Bhutto, and we have another party which is kind of again run by a businessman who is again corrupt, Nawaz Sharif, who has been expelled on charges of corruption, serious charges of corruption. Now he is back, he will fight the election. And then there is a terror factory, the retired terrorist contesting an election. So now between these three plus, Pakistani people have to choose their government, which will save them from almost every possible sorrows they undergo today, which will save them from debts, which will save them from rising inflation, which will provide them opportunity, will provide them employment, will provide them jobs, will make Pakistan a nuclear superpower, which they claim already they are. They want to reach space. Their aspirations are so big that they said wait karo, we will be in Chandrayaan in matter of 3-4 years. The aspirations and dreams are good, but this country is no more relevant to any of the nations apart from what US wants to deal with, the way they want to deal with Afghanistan and Iran. With very little choices of what people of Pakistan have, this election really doesn't mean anything to people of Pakistan or its establishment. We don't know how far this government will run. As far as India-Pakistan relationship is concerned, it's not going to make any big difference. We are very, very clear. Talks and terror cannot go together. Even if we want to extend some courtesy, try to sort out issues by ways of talks, whom will you talk with? This government, we really don't know how long it will act. Even if the government, Nawaz becomes Prime Minister tomorrow, he does some MOU agreement, and there will be some bomb blast done by ISI or the Pakistani army in some location of India. So that's not going to make any much change, and this country is doomed to fail. It's just matter of time. It's been held by US, by its debtor China, and its Sunni brothers like Saudi and UAE. So one more election, and so-called Banana Republic of Pakistan, the democracy of Pakistan is merely a joke. It's not going to make any impact on the Indo-Pakistan relation as well. Do post your comments, like, share and subscribe. Thank you all. Jai Hind.